That was what Kakao did to him in their previous matchup. He was ahead by 50 CS or something like that on his Olaf, but I don't know whether Olaf necessarily fits in this comp at all. Generally, you do like to have some more of these supportive healing style of supports, like a Yuumi, for example. Even a Karma is fantastic, allowing him to scale a little bit better.
So Joker's on stage, by the way, helping out with the draft. So they had the 6 pro players doing the draft for Sandbox.
Correct.
And the thing is Sandbox, they went every which place with this team comp. This is actually the personification of solo queue.
Yeah, this is solo queue draft.
This is
Absolutely.
solo queue. Yeah. Absolutely. None of these champions really interact that well with each other, except for the Tahm Kench and the Ezreal in a vacuum. Everything else is just trying to do stuff on its own accord, relative to its own power level, and trying to just snowball ahead.
So we have the one duo in
so bizarre.
It's Gorilla and Root. They're duo queue together. And then the rest of them have just picked what they wanted. On Griffin's side, this is some very Griffin drafting. Aatrox was sort of last on the list as far as the things that Sword had available to him. His Mordekaiser certainly didn't work out, so you can understand why they stepped away from that one. We'll see how he fares in this laning phase up against the Renekton of Summit, who has picked this champion so he can hard crush the lane.
Well, Atlas, I just want to let you know that I think that these two drafts up against one another are very interesting. In fact, I think that they are so exquisite, and all that they need to work on is their B1, R1, B2, R2, B3, R3, B4, B5, and R4, R5.
Yeah, that's the only thing they have to look at, though. Otherwise, they absolutely nailed this draft. 100%.
I think you know it better myself.
I mean, I think there were some better things they could have done in the ban phase as well, but outside of that and the other issues, I think everything was absolutely fine. I think you're entirely correct there. But we'll see. This is, from what it looks like to me, and speaking honestly and candidly about this, is trying to give these players as much comfort as possible in such a high-pressure game.
Yeah.
And there is certainly merit to that. And we'll see who's going to be able to utilize it effectively. As bottom side of the map, I feel like this is going to be a pretty decent lane for Viper and Wadid, especially considering that Wadid is the best player in the universe.
Well, I can agree with you there.
Yeah.
You should have said multiverse, though. He exists in many dimensions.
That's true. That's true.
So
he might actually be just surfboard coaching in an off dimension right now as he's playing in this laning phase.
I mean, I think he's actually up here casting with you.
Oh.
In another reality.
Wow, yeah, that's probably true.
That is true. While playing.
Yeah, while playing, of course.
He's actually, they set his computer up on the desk here.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, he wouldn't be the type of person that would look at my spectator client and cheat or anything like that.
No, he wouldn't.
He's just so incredible that you can trust him that much, even if you're league officials.
Yes.
So that's just amazing. The fact that he can channel commentary and playing at the same time like that. I personally don't understand how it works, but I'm not supposed to understand it. You know, as Summit dives forward, looks for the Ruthless Predator, but doesn't quite get it. As he's doing his best to cull the Meek here on the top side of the map. And so far, he's doing some. 13-5 is that CS mark, as Fate is going to take a turret shot and lose that trade very handily.
Yeah, and Yukal's going to be feeling really comfortable. So let's talk about basically what both of these two drafts are trying to achieve. Olaf is trying to power farm.
Yeah.
And Trundle is going to be the one that has the onus on him to make something happen. Unfortunately for the Trundle, there's a lot of champions on the side of Griffin that actually have ways to interact against his pillar. So that is going to be awkward for him transitioning into the later stage of the game. He's just going to wait for the Scuttle Crab now. And so Olaf going to get the reset off path to the right-hand side, and all should be fine in that department. LeBlanc looks like she's going over, actually, to check on it, and I'm not super certain about this. The next wave hasn't come out of the Nexus yet. We'll see if Yukal actually just elects to try to crash this wave immediately. No, it doesn't seem like he's going to. He even has TP. So he's playing a lot more reserved than I would have expected. He popped his potion, so that's even showing that he wants to stay in the lane.
Which is so strange, actually. Because now he's going to go back, right? Because he has no mana. Like, what's he...
Why did he pop the pot?
Because he wants to buy a refillable on his next back?
So sell the pot.
Yeah. I mean, look. I don't have a good answer for you, dude. Just clutching in them straws. Now on fleek. Looking for a potential gank up against Sword. Sword playing very far back is, yep, that's not going to be that. Doesn't quite get close enough for the Ruthless Predator. Does Summit. And now it's just going to crash this wave forward. Back comes in, you can see 31-26. Sword has actually caught back up in this lane quite nicely. Chains connect onto Yukao, but he's just standing and delivering.
Yeah.
Not in turret range at all. Wadid was there for protection. Did have, of course, the Lantern available for the extra shield and the repositioning. And so Yukao felt like he was capable of doing that. But now taking a fair bit of damage, actually, after backing very recently and utilizing the teleport. So see how this mid lane is going to turn out. Olaf towards the bottom side.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Tarzan didn't just start up the Infernal Dragon sooner, given that mid had priority, bot had priority, and now, because he took his sweet time, Onflake's going to come over. Bot lane for Sandbox were able to push up, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to contest. They have teleport on Summit, but you can see he's a bit tied up on the minimap with Sword, who would probably just be able to cancel it. So the Infernal Dragon will go the way of Griffin.
And an exciting Drake to come up as our soul this game as well. Ocean or Mountain, as the next dragon will be that Cloud. So see whether that focus is going to continue. I actually really appreciate this from Griffin. Their ability to take neutral objectives has been terrible all season. They have had absolutely no priority on dragons or anything like that throughout all of their games. And so them picking up the first one here has certainly shown us that maybe, just maybe, they've readjusted. I assume that's just because of Wadid telling them exactly how everything's supposed to work.
Yeah, yeah.
He was actually pretty outspoken on the desk when that was happening. To Griffin in the games that we cast of the team.
Well, here so far in this game, I mean, every lane is pretty stable. And I find it very impressive that I don't know how, but he's actually piloting all of the members of Griffin's PCs.
Yeah, no, he was doing that. He was doing that yesterday as well. Yeah.
It's really, it's a feat to behold.
Actually, I mean, the picture when it was the key player matchup of Fate and Yukao, it really should have just been Wadid's face.
Right, and you're really going to hand it to the Riot production crew because the level of Photoshop and green screen they're using to make it appear as if there's other Griffin members in the cams, absolutely outstanding.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it really is.
Truly is, yeah.
And look, I mean, you guys saw the intro to the LCK final. It was amazing. And so you can understand that their ability to manipulate the cameras here is also going to be outstanding. As Tarzan and Yukao moving down towards the bottom side. I mean, Wadid moving down towards the bottom side to meet up with Wadid and Wadid.
Yeah.
As Wadid top side is farming it out against Summit. Decently, you know, you expect the Renekton to win this matchup. As Sword throws down the World Ender. Wadid now is going down low. That is, of course, a bait as Viper turns up. Now, Sandbox ganking onto Wadid here as he is going to flash that wall, but the red buff is going to be enough alongside that Skirmishing Saber to take down the Aatrox for first blood. This is exactly what Sandbox want.
And so now, I mean, Sword does have teleport available, but you're getting Summit ahead, who is the most important member on Sandbox, by far and away. And I wasn't here yesterday, but if I was, I would have talked about how insane it is that arguably one of the best players in all of LCK is actually in the promotion series here.
I know, Wadid. I can't believe it.
Alice.
No, I think you're exactly right. Summit is a fantastic top laner, but he has had his ups and downs this season. He was benched for a long time, and Sandbox had Lonely come in and try to save them, and it didn't really work out. They were experimenting with so many different rosters, nothing really falling into place for Sandbox. It was, disappointing to say the least for this squad, but I think you're right. I think that Summit is still a player that deserves the accolades that he gets, but it might just be that his mentality has taken too much of a hit this season with how their results have not been anywhere near what he was wanting.
And I think one of the other things going on in this game is Summit is going to have a pretty tall ask on him to do things this game because, oh, hold on.
Well, Slice and Dice going to be used here from Summit to get himself safety. Yukal was roaming up as well. This is what Griffin find themselves having to do more often than not, and that is repair the top lane that has fallen apart. Yukal using the package to clear out this minion wave very effectively, though, and is still very far ahead when it comes to CS.
Yep. And on Fleek, he's going to start up the Rift Herald right now.
Yeah, with top priority, he can, of course, feel free to do this, and then use it topside, get Summit even further ahead, and hope that having the Crocodile too large is going to be what allows them to snowball this game away from Griffin. Because that's what they want to do, right? If you ever have a Renekton on your team, you just need to do your very best to end the game as soon as possible.
And Yukal just trying to shove in this last wave, I assume.
There's the Mimic Distortion. Chains connect, but Yukal is going to break them. Successfully clears out the minion wave like you were talking about. Has a Hex Drinker first item as well.
Yep.
As he's going to finally go and finish off his tier. So that's going to be a little bit delayed. But I like the Hex Drinker purchase. I think defensive items specified for the laning phase are really good to pick up early. And he's decided to go for the Sheen. So because he couldn't get that tier stacking up early, he's instead going to forego the Manamune that we see so many of our mid laners go for.
And, I mean, on Sandbox, right now, they're trying to start up this Cloud Dragon. Even if they get it, it's not the biggest victory.
Yep. Means that this Mountain Soul is going to be a little bit more delayed on Griffin's side, as it is Earth, Wind, and Fire that we have available for ourselves this game. No Ocean allowed. We were making desert references, so I think it makes a lot of sense that there's no Ocean Drake in this game. 600 gold going to be the lead here for Sandbox, as a lot of that is top side of the map. 23 CS in the lead, but Sword will be able to pick up this minion wave.
And we're just playing ping pong. We are in a lull state, and you know, we haven't had a lull state in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has absolutely been quite a long time. The weather today in Korea is fantastic, by the way.
It's beautiful.
It is the best day, I think, that we've ever had.
In the universe?
2020.
Like ever?
In 2020.
Do you think it was Woodid? Do you think he booked it in?
Yeah, I think he decided when he woke up this morning that he wanted the weather to be like this.
Yep.
And thus it was.
Well, thank you, our Lord and Savior Woodid.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Tarzan looking to come over and steal away a red buff, but On Fleek is right here. Still has the Rift Herald available. Yukal, he's going to turn up. Gorilla going to be there as well. Lands the Tongue Lash. And there goes the pillar. Valkyrie used for Yukal to create some space. Blast Cone. To stop On Fleek from getting on top of the Corki, but Fate does dive on over. A lot of damage comes out from the True Shot Barrage as Root dives over. Finds a little bit of extra poke damage, and it will mean that Sandbox do lock down their own red buff. A little bit of a scuffle, but otherwise not too much to come from it.
And Summit getting a trade-off against the Aatrox up there.
Yep. Not opting in for any Executioner's Callings. Actually works in this matchup on both sides. But you can see Summit and Sword deciding not to go with it. Might be what Sword's going to turn that longsword into, but I hazard a guess that it is going to be the Phage. As Gorilla's moving on over. That's a really good snare. The Ignite does come down. A magic damage shield is going to be available, but Fate decides not to die for that turret now. Rift Herald's going to be spawned topside. World Ender is in for Sword. It's going to be a lot of extra money for Summit. See whether they get any more. Rift Herald is going to be taken very swiftly. And so still a couple of plates remain as Viper throws out the Moonlight Vigil. That was scary.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about.
Sometimes you just got to press your R button.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to keep that in mind.
FaZe was showing us in our previous game.
Right.
And he won 2-0. So, I don't know. Cull completed, though, here for Viper. He is very, very strong, as he's going to take Wadid's incredible Lantern towards the mid lane, but they decide instead that Yukal's going to make it there in time. He says, step away from my CS, and they are going to do so. A lot of wards for Sandbox here on the bottom side of the map, as Viper clears one of them. This means that this Ezreal Tahm Kench is going to be pretty comfy.
And we're just going to keep playing ping pong, it seems. Viper did complete his call. Minute and a half until Mountain Dragon, but no one really getting any super sizable advantages. I mean, I suppose Summit does have some turret plates, but yeah, they're not even going to be able to find a kill there.
Nope.
Humble Dash does come out. And we're just mostly waiting. LeBlanc is going to have a bit of a hard time in the later stages of the game killing anyone.
Especially with this Hex Drinker on Yukal already. Tarzan walks over a controller. There's the box from Wadid as Gorilla getting taken down very, very low. Viper with these close range weapons. Certainly able to get a lot of work done, but just going to be softening up the members of Sandbox underneath the turret. Might buy them some space, but the turret plates have already fallen down a minute ago. Now Calibrum, Crescendum online for Viper.
And yeah, this is
feeling like a Griffin game.
Yeah,
this is feeling like a Griffin game. Yeah,
absolutely. It's feeling like a Jin Air game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
well, when you've got
blast of the past.
I mean, Griffin now have Jin Air's old coach, so it's like compounded effect of really slow League of Legends. As that was an interesting point of the game. Of course, Root was on Jin Air when they were relegated. H-Dragon, of course, was there beside him. So which one of these players is going to be biting the dust as Summit moves himself out of the highlighted spot of Sword's Q? He's going to be absolutely fine. He's still ahead, but it's still just that 20 CS mark. As Griffin have started off this Mountain Drake already. Yukal with the package ready to be delivered. Sandbox are teleporting in. They do not want to give this one away, as now teleport towards the bottom side as well. Summit is going to make his way in. Sword can teleport as well.
Sword?
Whether he's going to, we'll have to find out. He is just going to go back to base first. True Shot Barrage comes down. And nope, he's going to cancel that back, and they're just going to give up on this Drake.
And this will allow the Aatrox to get more farm and EXP, and perhaps they're thinking, we don't want to fight yet and use summoners when Corki's so close to Trinity Force, Aatrox so close to Black Cleaver. So they're willing to give over the Mountain Dragon in favor of having a more controlled team fight once their item completions come in.
Yeah, can understand that one, especially when they're probably pretty happy to scale. Olaf and Aatrox are not necessarily your greatest of scaling champions, but Aphelios and Corki are very, very good the longer this game goes on. Certainly meaningful item pickups abound for both of these champions. So see whether Griffin can play around that. Sandbox looking to try and spike a little bit earlier than this. Do want to allow Summit to carry as best he can. He does have that Executioner's Calling now completed. Black Cleaver also done alongside his Ninja Tabi. And this is a very scary Crocodile now parked in the mid lane. Viper down towards bot. He's going to clear out that minion wave. Shirley comes down. Sandbox are looking to try and crash this one. Tarzan has to use the Ragnarok defensively. They're still diving for him. Fate taking a lot of damage. They are just going to buy space with that LeBlanc. Now look for a secondary charge. They will get it here as well as Yukal stops it. Nicely done. Sandbox got what they came for, of course.
Yep. They end up getting the tier 1 turret, and back to farming it is, as Ezreal going for the Trinity Force, with the Miramana probably going to be completed in the next minute and a half. Looks like Banshee's Veil is going to be the next item on the LeBlanc, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, given that Corki can pop it so easy.
Yeah.
With his ultimate ability.
Not to mention there's going to be undertows flying and things like that. Like
there's so many things that can really put a bit of a damper on that. But 18 and a half minutes here.
Yeah.
With 1 kill. And we're waiting for Mountain Dragon. So
yeah. Do you want to go? Do you need to go to the bathroom or something like that? I mean, nothing's going to happen for the next 2.5 minutes. So if you can race.
I actually just got paint, and I'm going to watch it dry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I picked it up.
Well, actually, no, I bought some grass. Do
Did
you want to watch it grow with me?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's fantastic. We can watch. Do you want to do the paint first or the grass first? I'm really excited about both options.
Let's throw the paint on the grass.
Oh my
and then
god.
See if it can grow while it dries.
Yeah, see which one grows first while the other one's drying. Oh man, see how much the grass is going to grow before the paint is dry.
Perfect. That sounds like a date.
It's such a cool combination of two really exciting things that we can do.
You know what? We're not casting online anymore, and they tried to move our hands apart, but our hands are joined now.
Yeah, they are.
For this
They
moment.
can't move our hands because we have control of our real bodies. That's the beauty of being in LoL Park. This is actually the first time we've casted together in LoL Park for a really long time. I was there with the Valdanalist yesterday.
Yes, yes you were, Mr. Valdez.
Yes, Mr. Bronze 5 himself.
Yep.
As a Summit Freak of Freaks fan. Yukal, of course, formerly a Freak of Freaks player as well. That's why he's flashing him that one. As True Shot Barrage flies in. It's going to mean one Cull to Meat clears out that minion wave, so throws it in. Another Freak of Freaks comes out. Summit representing some of his old teams alongside Yukal. I don't believe they played together at all. Because, of course, on a Freaker, Summit was sitting behind Keen the entire time, was only ever really a sub. But now Tarzan moves in. Yukal taking a lot of damage from Summit there. Really good trade. But the minion wave is going to go down, and Summit does save that turret. So I really like how Summit's been playing thus far. Close to a 30 CS advantage, but now Conflict does find that pillar, slows Yukal down just a little. You can see this this Lego crocodile up towards the top side of the map is doing some really fantastic things. But he will fall off as this game goes on. So how much more he can do, we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, Viper is continuing to farm up here on the Aphelios. And all that's really happened here is Sandbox have accrued a 2,000 gold lead. They have a Mountain Dragon. Now, the Mountain Dragon in a vacuum does get outscaled typically by the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, it feels like actually like Mountain Drake, like it's just outscaled is the aim of the game here for Sandbox. And that's why Griffin are doing basically nothing at this stage of the game.
Yeah. And Mountain Soul is the one good hope because it will just end the game if they get it.
Oh, that play was so sick from Wadid, who flashed in for it. Yukal gets exhausted immediately after the package delivery. So not quite working there. It's a little bit too tired after he gets to the front door. But now Sword dived in on top of Summit. Is that the fight you want to take, though, as Fate connects the chains and Sword unable to finish that engagement? Summit avoiding a whole lot of these rockets as now Sandbox looking for the re-engage. Fate lands yet another chain, and Yukal has to flash massive damage onto Viper with the True Shot barrages. Summit locks down Wadid and takes him out. Wadid expertly being the sacrificial lamb here for Griffin to make sure that they don't lose too much as the surprised crab comes out and Sandbox move towards Soul Point.
And they're one dragon away from going up 1-0 in this series. Because if you get the Mountain Soul, I'll talk about it right after this. So pay attention to what happens here. Wadid goes for the flash play and then misses the hook. And Yukal actually bumps them basically to safety in a way. He draws a line, not able to achieve too much. Sword goes in onto Summit, who can't get a lot of value. Sandbox at this point are very split up, but this is what they want to be doing with the Ezreal and the LeBlanc. They want to be corralling the opponents. And take a look at the True Shot barrage.
Oh my God.
Root goes forward, removes Viper's ability to be in the fight, and the other exciting thing here, Atlas, is a mid-game Olaf is always a sight to behold when he has no kills.
And he hasn't gone for Cacaw's fun version of Olaf. Cacaw's Olaf was, I'm going to build Warrior Enchant.
That's the right way to build it.
And when Warrior Enchant, Boots of Lucidity straight into Black Cleaver for as much axes as possible.
No doubt.
And 40% CDR with only a couple of items. Absolutely love it. But that is not what Tarzan's decided to do. It looks like Spirit Visage is coming in next. And some cheeky Ninja Tabi there as well. So just more of that tanky build. Tank Olaf, guys. He's a meat shield. And that's about it.
And what I would really like to see here is just more tank itemization start coming out by Sandbox, given that they're likely going to get the third Mountain Drake. And so good utilization out of armor and MR, getting 18% amp to it.
Yeah, actually, this would have been a good game to go Iceborne Gauntlet on the Ezreal, too.
Yeah, he could have, well...
It's hard to know exactly
yeah,
what you're going to roll.
that you would roll the mountain and then you would want to end up going into it, but even in a vacuum, I think the Iceborne Gauntlet isn't that bad here against Atrox Aphelios and even Thresh, so definitely an option to do that, but he just opted for the more damage coming through this. Sandbox, now because they're threatening this soul, they're able to just sit back, relax, play ping pong with the waves they're not going to raise.
Maybe we're getting an idea as to why he's the one playing instead of Dove. It wasn't really what we were experiencing in our in the last series. Waiting off to the side, the souls sort of giving him away. But he will pick up those celestial souls there. Very cool.
Yeah. Very good Thresh skin. As, wow, look at the architecture here by Viper.
Yeah, pretty cool. And the skin synergy as well.
Yeah.
Between this Aphelios and the Thresh. Very cosmic. Love it.
And 50 seconds until the Mountain Drake comes up.
Yep.
And if Sandbox ends up getting it, Olaf, Thresh, and Atrox will cease to be champions. They will not be able to do anything because their initial burst will come out and it'll only chew through the shield that Mountain Soul is going to end up granting. So it's going to be near impossible for those champions to team fight. And even for...
Oh,
man.
That is a fantastic pillar out from OnFleek as well. But Yukal didn't quite have Flash available. But he's still able to get himself to safety. Utilizing that Valkyrie. Now 15, 14 seconds until the Mountain Soul is available. All of the control is here for Sandbox. The summon moves on down. Fate continues to be frustrating, but Yukal chasing after him. And the big one is going to land. That is actually Fate well and truly chunked out. True Shot Barrage does some work. Onto Whited there on the backside. His sword tries to lock him down, but Tarzan is so close to dead. Root dives over the wall. A hero play, but he gets exhausted on the backside, and now Sword's trying to get on top of him, but he's just running them around the rosy. Root is a god in this team fight. Summit dives onto Sword, and it's a triple kill as Root says no to his former coach. 6-0 is the kill score, and Mountain Soul is alive, but Baron looks to be the option.
If you get the Mountain Soul, you can use Baron to demand that the opponents dance with you, and then just charge out them.
A team fight, yeah.
You just get a team fight. But now, okay, they're going to get the Baron. Summit does have teleport. He's going to be able to recall and teleport down there. Yukal starting up the mountain. Trundle, you can see, barreling over. Now, the thing here is some people might be watching this and like, okay, Sandbox still gets the Baron and the mountain. The issue is that they knock off a lot of time on their Baron buff, and now they don't demand that Griffin comes out of a defensive position and have to fight them. That's the big difference to the variation that they could have gone for. So, Olaf doing Olaf things, abysmal champion. Root just lays waste to Tarzan. Sword tries to follow over the wall, but Root doing so much on the Ezreal. Getting so much value.
Oh my god, we get to watch it from his pro view. See how cool, calm, and collected he is there in his screen as well. Look at how close that mouse is as well, LS.
Yep. Really, really good control.
넘어.
Just landed everything.
Yeah.
He said,
용.
Watch me, please.
Oh,
And they
he
did.
was saying dragon. Root's a bit of a savant. All right, the Ezreal player, you gotta, you know.
He also did
It makes
5,000
sense.
damage in that team fight. As now, we've got an Elder Drake available in 5 minutes' time, but this Mountain Soul is such a big deal for Sandbox. It actually turns Renekton into a champion in the later stages of the game as well. You can build a lot of resistances and be very, very strong. His Randuin's Omen already completed. Is now on fleek. Out of position here, but doesn't have to use the subjugation or anything like that. Summit was moving on down. The rest of Sandbox over to the side. And Root just wants to take down this turret. Should be able to do so. As Tarzan taking too much damage there. Root dealing with the turret and the Olaf at the same time, and even nails the ultimate. Root is on absolute, incredible form today. This is the guy that we really wanted to see on a new team, right? And when he joined Sandbox, we got really excited. Did not have the season this season that we were expecting, but this is what he's capable of.
Well, he's doing a really good job here. Taking a little bit of damage there, but it's fine. Remember, they have... Oh!
Yep, Fate donking off a little bit towards the top side, but he's able to flash himself to safety. Now Sword getting himself a flank, but maybe he's just going to get himself a trip to the Death Chamber. He does, as Root locks down that kill. Viper on the front line, obliterated by this Ezreal. Double kill so far. Is it going to be the triple as Tarzan trying to kite this one out? True Shot Barrage very close to nailing Yukal as Summit locks down the jungler, and this is going to be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Griffin falling down 0-1 in game one. Sandbox fighting for their lives for another opportunity to get back into the LCK. And this might just be the last we see of Griffin if they can't win the next 2 games in a row. This is so much pressure. Yukal delivers a present to Gorilla up to the backside, but Root is going to be able to lock down that kill. Not entirely sure what was going on there as OnFleek throws up the flare. These Nexus turrets are dead. Griffin flares up from Gorilla. And Summit still representing a freak of freaks. The Nexus will fall. OnFleek might just die. No, he doesn't. As there we go. Even a cheeky Jin Air flare.